Good afternoon, Antrim County. This is Veterans Voice Podcast with your host, Brandon, Carrie, and Matt. What is going on, guys?
Another week.
It's Friday.
Yeah, the sun's out.
Yay.
Yeah, for once.
Yeah.
It's been kind of an up and down week.
And it says today's high is 45.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
it's
away,
supposed to be warm, but then we go back down to single digits tomorrow and the following day. Of course, the weekend.
Yep.
Fake
Punishment.
Fake spring like twice so far now.
It's just getting your hopes up.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Pretty
like
much.
it's like running.
know better.
Company formation run. You run past the barracks just to get people's
Yeah, I actually know about it.
mind
This
fucking.
sucks.
You know.
Yep. Look at Chief like, come on, dude.
But yeah. Other than that, it's been a good week. It's been a very busy and productive week.
That was
Yes.
That I like.
quite a bit of claims in and
Yeah.
financials and you name it. So
Lots of random things that need to be done for people. And yeah.
And we're closing up on the tax season, the property tax season.
Yes.
You know, and I know you wanted to mention something about the tax optimus.
Tax exemption for veterans.
Oh, that was tax optimus that you were talking about.
What?
Tax optimus.
What is that?
I don't know. You're the one that's talking about it.
I said that? Okay.
I'm intrigued now.
So am I. I want to learn.
Well, I don't know what that is, but I was talking about the when people do get their 100% rating. And Brandon's over there making faces now.
I'm smiling. That's all I'm doing.
Yep,
just
he's
smiling.
smiling.
It's a good darn day.
Yep,
Shady
it is.
grin.
But I want to make sure that people know when you get rated and it backdates to another year and you weren't able to file for property tax exemption for your veterans 100% status with your local assessor. You have to do it through your local township. And that is on a Michigan Form 5107. You can find it on the Michigan, State of Michigan website, or just search that. It comes right up. We can help people fill it out if they need it. We do that a lot with people that don't have computer access or ability to print, or sometimes, like, some of our veterans can't write. They might have Parkinson's or can't see, or,
Yep.
So if you know someone that needs help, they can come to us. But we fill that out. You get it to your township assessor. And a lot of times people get backdated a couple of years just based on how long it took to rate their claims. And in that case, you file your new one for this current year, and usually they want it before March of the year that we're in. So 2026, some assessors want it sooner, but you got to have it into them. And then after that, starting last year or this year, that
Last year I went through.
you will no longer have to do it every single year. But that first initial one, once you get 100%, you've got to file for that. And then if you want to get the previous years, say it went to, for example, I've had this happen a couple times where they have 2025 and part of 2024 that they got rated for 100%. And of course, it backdates. They get pay for their VA disability, but their property tax exemption obviously is going to be denied by the assessor because they already paid it. The assessor has no power to give it back, but that's because part of it goes to the state. So the state will then have to review it. So in that case, you need to apply for the previous years through your local township assessor with, the Form 5107 for those other years, and they have to actually formally deny it with a form. And that is something the assessor has to fill out. They can't just say no. They have, and it says they're supposed to mail it to you, or they can hand it to you, whatever. And they're supposed to send one to the Michigan Department of Treasury also. And that is a Michigan Department of Treasury Form 6055. So if they don't know what it is, some may not. They can find it online. You can find it online. Bring it to them. We can give it to you, whatever. They can fill it out for those years that you're requesting, and then it will tell you what to do to appeal that. And that form then would have to be filled out with your proof of, with that copy of the denial letter or the denial form, which is a 6055, along with your current VA rating showing that it dates back. So then it would get sent in for an appeal on this other form, which is the property tax appeal petition form for disabled veterans tax exemption. And that form number
Man, say that 3 times fast.
yeah, I know. It doesn't even have a form number, but then there's another one too. But they are on the Michigan Department of Treasury website. So those must be appealed within 35 days of the denial date of when that letter is dated to you from your assessor. So,
Gotcha.
and one of the qualifying things for that is that the VA rating process took longer than, than the time that you would have had to file for that. So it's pretty easy. And it seems like a lot, but it's pretty simple. It's just steps that you got to do. So
Yeah.
people that really need that, and it is yours, give us a call or let us know if you need help or want to know how to do that. Because a lot of people don't know. And
It's true.
the assessors might just say, oh, no, I can't do that for those other years. And then you just leave and, okay,
Right.
well, we can help you, though. So
That's
I thought that was
definitely
important because it's happened a lot and people deserve to know what they're
Absolutely.
entitled to. So,
Yeah. I'm going
All
to
right.
caveat that one too. Just a big shout out to our veteran community out in Lakes of the North too, because that was something that was brought up quite a few times with some of our veterans. We did find out with tax abatement that if you are a member of Lakes of the North, you are able to also, if you're tax exempt and 100%, you also have the ability to be exempt from association fees on your main piece of property.
is that for anywhere in Michigan?
Nope, just for Lakes of the North.
Lakes of the North. Because they have it in their
Yeah,
HOA.
it's in the restricted covenant.
Okay.
So we were able to find that. Tom Clemenston is another one of our vets. He's actually leading the charge out there. So if anybody's hearing it from Lakes of the North, I know we got quite a few listeners. Get a hold of him or me, and we can help you out with that one too, because that's something that just came up this year too, including all these new rules and stuff. So
That's
really
helpful.
nice.
Yeah.
For sure.
Very nice. Yep.
So when you're talking about the 100% rating, what do you, like who's rated?
So
How's it
it
rated?
has to be permanent. It can't be like not. It doesn't have to say permanent in total, but if it's a convalescent type 100% rating for, say, you got surgery, that doesn't count. But if you have a 100% rating for your disabilities, do you want to clarify, Brandon?
You.
IU.
Yeah, IU, which
You know,
means
so-
individual unemployability.
And then 100% scheduler as well.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be permanent in total.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so we try to get that information out when we see the ratings, but we have a lot to keep up with. So we want to make sure we don't miss anybody. And then some people might have it that don't even know, that didn't go through us or whatever. And anywhere, if there's other, it's something to be aware of in any state, what those rights are that you have for your tax exemption and other things as a veteran. So, and they are different from state to state. So,
I think.
Yeah.
I think my last tax abatement for one of our vets, he didn't even know. He was
Yeah.
100%, and he had a friend kind of mention. He's like, "Oh yeah, you got your property taxes taken care of," and he didn't even know. So for 3 years he's been going around not knowing that he had
yeah.
tax exempt. So it's kind of a little
In
late on
that
it, but-
case, he could try to appeal, but that's not one of the guaranteed reasons that they will give it back. Like
Right.
if they didn't get their rating until after that year passed, then that's actually listed as a valid reason that they will refund the property tax.
There you go.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, huh?
That's good information. So I
Yeah.
know it's just like anything else. You got to dig for stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Not even that, just getting it out there.
Right.
You know, there's nothing in the VA that is very well advertised.
Right.
You know,
They make you work for it, that's for sure. And I don't
Make
want
us
anyone
work
to
for
be
it.
discouraged from it because, like, oh, well, it's okay. I don't really like after all the claim process stuff. And then it's like, well, no, come on, we can help you.
Exactly.
So-
Easy peasy.
Gotcha. Okay. Awesome. What you got?
Well, I don't know if you guys were
I like
pissed.
how
Well,
the blank,
That's my ADHD. It's rampant today, let me tell you. I don't know if you guys have been pissed about this. I know a lot of veterans
yeah.
have been too, but man,
you know.
that new rule that the VA wanted to do got rescinded. So I'll just start off with that because I know a lot of people are kind of like, what's going on with it? But so there was a rule that they were trying to deal with, the VAs. The rule told the VA raters to consider how well a veteran's symptoms are controlled by medication or treatment. So basically, let's just say the veteran is rated for PTSD or chronic pain controlled stuff, and he's on medication for that. With this new rule, if it would have went through, basically the VA could assign a lower rating than they would for a veteran who wasn't treated. So there's like the hypocrisy.
Sounds like
it's
a
just
great idea.
it's so stupid. But
Jeez.
basically, a lot of our groups like DAV, American Legion, VFW, they led the charge on Capitol Hill against this. And thank God we have these organizations out there because they really gave us a voice on this. And there was a lot of open comments allowed. A lot of our veterans went on there and voiced their concerns. And basically, it's hurting a veteran more than anything else because basically what the veteran's going to do is like, oh, okay, well, if I have a good day, then they're just going to take away my disability. So it's like almost forcing veterans to not want to take their meds.
It would have.
It really, I know it probably
Yeah.
would have done it to a lot of our vets. So
but they're no longer doing that.
no longer.
That was the fastest turnaround I have seen the VA pull yet,
I cannot even believe they tried that.
without
Like,
any legal action
just-
going on or anything like that. Just the amount
of
of
nowhere.
people that stood against this.
Yeah.
Doug got his butt spanked a little bit on
I
that
mean,
one.
that just caused a lot of distrust, which we did not need.
Still does too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, it definitely puts that unease on
Yeah.
anything with this.
Like everybody's skeptical now, and we're watching even closer.
Yeah.
All the veterans are watching, and I mean, I guess that's good that we're watching, but
Yeah.
not a good feeling.
we shouldn't have to get to that
No.
point.
No, that was very, very tricky and very. It felt very like just sneaky. Like
And it goes past the promise, the initial promise
Yeah.
the VA had to treat.
they weren't gonna limit or they weren't gonna take away benefits, right? That's
Right.
what they said in the beginning
Yeah.
of the new era or whatever you
Well,
want to call it.
Just too many muggles.
yeah.
Too many muggles just getting involved in stuff that they just don't know. That, we got a lot of.
Even veterans that we're saying that are in Congress and in different political positions were wanting to do this.
Yeah.
And it's surprising.
There's some bro vets out
Oh,
there.
they want to do some other stuff as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ideas being floated around, but nothing's actually sticking just yet. But you know what? Honestly, we've been dealing with those ideas since 3 years ago
Oh,
when
yeah.
CBO came out with a report and where they can cut and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's just stupid. I think that we need more people. It should be a bipartisan thing. It shouldn't be a
Yeah.
fight. We're not. I know that the military has always been that we're poked and prodded medications. I feel like we're like lab rats
Oh,
in
we are.
essence sometimes, and they got to keep the politics out of it. And when it comes to our vets, like just help the vets.
Yeah.
Who cares who you are, what you're from? If you agree with it, you should help. And hopefully one day everybody starts working together. That's my hope. We'll
Yeah.
see.
yeah, well, one day at a time. Heck, even the government right now don't even know what it's going to do
No.
from day to
true.
day.
Yeah.
That's a dog and pony show that's constantly revolving.
It's where we should be used to the whole dog and pony show by now. But I think that's why us veterans are kind of nonchalant about this stuff. Like, just whatever.
Well, the VA's budget, the last time it went through, it was $400 billion annually that got approved. And then in 25, 369.1 billion was about 31.7 billion was to cover disabilities through the PACT Act and everything like that. So they appropriated even more
Right.
after that initial 400. So, it's definitely, a hefty bill out there, but
I mean,
it's all going to a good cause.
yeah, I mean,
These are to people that signed that dotted line, have been deployed in a over a decade war.
yep.
2 of them.
All
Yep.
3 of our generations, that's all we've ever known is wartime. It seems like this is like the only time I feel like we've had peacetime for a little while.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well,
Yeah.
shoot, how many years is it now? They stopped the conflict in 21?
Yeah,
Was that what it
2021.
was?
Yeah, OEF. Yeah,
So, we're 4 years?
yeah, getting there,
Yeah.
breaking records. Hopefully, good records.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they decide to send troops places. They promise to take care of us, all the troops,
That's the
all the
biggest thing,
veterans.
the promise.
So that is what they got to do.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Well, the nice thing, though, about being here is, like, being able to serve that, the vets that come in here and everything like that. I think it's
Yeah.
great. And then have that commonality. It's cool.
Yeah, even when they call and today I got chewed out, not really me, but sometimes they just need to
People get frustrated.
let
Sometimes they
their
need somebody.
feelings out. And this poor man, this veteran, he was 86. I'm not going to say his name, obviously, but he was frustrated about some utility stuff going on. And he was just kind of talking, yelling at me about it. Not really intentionally. It wasn't towards me, but
Yeah,
and then try to get him some information to take care of it. But I'm like, we don't like to say it's not our job, but it was, I felt bad for him. And,
Out of
can
your
you
scope.
imagine? Yeah, I was like, that's really not something I can do anything about. But I sent him like the Utilities Commission number and stuff like that. But
yeah, but at least helped.
Yeah,
that's a
and-
big thing.
I can't imagine being his age, like 80, in your 80s, late 80s, trying to deal with the new online technology, them telling you, go online and do this. He's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to go online and do anything.
It's hard enough for our
Like-
age to just figure out how to get on there
Yeah.
and pay your bill. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I hate that second step verification. It serves a good purpose, but my goodness, sometimes
Yeah.
it's on
irritating.
everything nowadays too.
yeah,
Yeah.
Technology.
yep,
Well, let's talk about more VA stuff, I suppose.
yeah.
So you guys know what the actual definition per VA or 6 CFR 38, what that legal definition actually is?
Code of Federal Regulation.
Oh, no, for a veteran.
I mean,
Their eligibility to be a veteran.
Well, what the requirements are to be considered a veteran through the VA.
180 consecutive days of active duty service or under Title 10 orders.
federal,
Federal. Yeah.
not
That's
trained.
if it's
have it.
reserve or National Guard, right?
Yep. Sorry, I got that mixed up in my head. Sorry.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Brandon.
So, basically, to be considered a veteran, you had to have served in the active military or Navy, or Air Force, and Space Force now too, Marines, discharged or released under conditions other than dishonorable. So you can have your general under honorable, your other than honorable, your honorable, right? All those will qualify you for VA benefits. And must meet a 24-month continuous active duty requirements, completed the full obligation period, with exceptions for early separation due to service-connected disability are certain hardships, right? So you can get chaptered out and still qualify
Yep.
on it. It's just a matter of why you get chaptered out, right?
Exactly.
For reserves and National Guard, like you said, you have to have that 180 days consecutive. So on 181 days, you qualified at that point in time, but it has to be consecutive. You cannot, you can't go on orders for 2 months and then take a break,
Right.
and then 2 months later you get put back on federal orders for another 3 months. You
Yep.
can't add those together; they have to be consecutive. And that's for the National Guard and reservists out there. And that's the hardest thing to tell somebody who's actually, signed up and they expect to have
Yeah.
all these benefits ready for them when they get out. And,
Yep.
even retirees,
Oh yeah.
Right.
we see a lot of them come through. And unfortunately, it's just, you definitely served. You just not, in the VA's eyes, considered a veteran.
Right. Better way to put it. We've actually had, I think when I first started in this office, we had a guy that came in that he had done numerous years in the Michigan National Guard. Mm-hmm. I think he was almost at 20 or
that.
something like that. And he came in and he didn't qualify for anything because, he was
Yeah.
deployed, but more of like we used to call him in the Navy, DFTs, deployment for training.
Yeah.
So deploy you somewhere, maybe work or work with coalition forces, whatever he's doing. But his amount of active duty time didn't equate to it at all. And he couldn't get him anything. Couldn't really
Yeah.
do much anything at all. So it happens.
Yep. Yeah. And we all know, like, your VA disability is tax free,
Yep.
right? But that's another thing that they're talking about changing up is taxing your VA disability.
Jeez.
Boy, they want that big March of 1932 to come back, don't they?
We don't know what's going to happen moving forward. These are just ideas that they're throwing out, not anything that they're necessarily moving on, but the discussion's out there.
Did they move on tinnitus and bilateral hearing loss at all? And ears, nose, and throat, I think, changed a little bit too, didn't it? It's like, why?
Yeah.
I think they're testing too with that little stunt they pulled with we just talked about for the for the last thing we talked about. But I just think they wanted to see what the reaction would be.
Oh yeah, with the new rule.
Yep, with the new rule about the medications. But
Well, they
my-
got
just
a
my opinion.
reaction. They got a really good reaction.
yeah, they figured it out pretty quick.
It was all over TikTok, social media. I
Yeah.
mean, Facebook, Instagram. I think I've seen it on
And
almost
all
every
the
social
news
media.
outlets. So now for active duty, now how is that different than the Guard and Reserve?
For what?
But for time served,
Just says 24 months.
24 months
Continuous active. Yep. And then, even though this is what the article is saying, I do remember one day during wartime, boots on ground
Yeah,
is a qualifier.
Really?
in theater somewhere.
I thought you had to have that's just to get the 90 days.
To have
No.
expeditionary ribbon, right? Or expeditionary has to be marked on there. Is that right? So basically, you were somewhere.
I don't remember what the
Even for a day.
qualifiers were for the expeditionary medal.
Yeah, usually, you have to be in country somewhere to get the expeditionary. You can't just be in during that time.
I know 3 or 4 years into it, they stopped, providing that.
Oh,
The
Even-
GWAT
like-
expeditionary.
Yeah.
do you mean the actual medals?
There's the Armed
themselves?
Forces Expeditionary Medal that was given out like Panama, like in the 80s.
Yeah, I think it was
Okay.
what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you talking about the expeditionary medals themselves, the physical ones, or are you talking about not putting on the DD 214?
Well, if you're getting the physical, you'd have to have the orders, which goes on the DD-214.
Right, yeah.
So.
Yep.
So that's my
see
thoughts
what you're
on
saying.
that part, But why did we go over the requirements to be considered a veteran? Because that's where it all starts, right? And then if we're going to file a claim to help you out with any kind of compensation, disability benefits moving forward, of course, you had to have that illness or disability, the injury occur in service, right?
Right.
And then we have to have some kind of way to point back to when it happened, whether it's in your medical records, the incidents in any kind of blotter reports or anything like that. Your performance is taken into consideration as well. So make sure, if anybody's not active duty or know somebody that is, make sure that they're getting their stuff checked,
Big time.
be seen by medical while you're in there and everything like that. It gets on your actual medical records.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it becomes a hard fight at
Yeah.
times.
And within a year of getting out, to keep on top of health
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
issues.
So what we just talked about there was, direct service connection, right? Something that happened in service. I don't care if you got up from your couch while you're on active duty, on your off time, and you broke your toe on the coffee table.
Or you're on leave.
You're on
Yeah,
leave.
that counts.
It all counts.
You're still a property of the government.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Make sure you talk to somebody about it too. Okay. And then when you start talking about all the different disabilities, you also have aggravated by service.
Yep.
We've talked about that this morning, actually, you and I.
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah.
was it. That PEB.
Yeah, tell
I
me
was
about it.
talking about, yeah.
You were looking at it.
Yeah, which is crazy because we found out that you ended up getting it. But I had a DD 214 that came in and it had under the reason for separation was what is it called? Man, I'm trying to think of it in my head. It's disability before service. Like basically, it was.
Existed prior to service.
Existed prior to service. That was a fancy word
Okay.
I'm looking for. Wow, I don't know why I couldn't say that. But yeah, that's apparently they found out that he had a lot of feet problems. And then about a year into his career, he was having problems, keeping up on rucks and running and everything else. So they chaptered him out for that disability, basically. Now, it usually is really hard to claim, especially when you don't have enough evidence or something like that. But he had enough evidence that a previous VSO had put in and got him at least rated for his feet and his shoulders and stuff. And it was like, wow, I've never seen that one. That was definitely a new one on me. But yeah, I think that was direct, or no, that was aggravated by service, because it just progressively, you could see in his charts too. I looked at them, they progressively gotten worse and worse until about that year mark. He had to go to board. It was definitely apparent in his battalion. So that was an interesting one.
Well, the biggest thing is with those is just like you said is, you can come into the service with certain conditions, right? And you get a waiver in. And that does follow you through your service. But as long as you can show that it continually got worse in service, so you're being seen by your medical professionals, and even when you get out, you're still being seen, through follow-ups and everything like that, and your condition is getting worse, notably worse. If it stays somewhat the same, then you're not going to get anything for that.
All right.
So
That makes sense.
yeah. We see a lot of it, especially with feet.
Yeah.
That's been the biggest thing I've seen as far as existing prior to service. Our mental health
Yep.
is another one.
That's true. I was going to say mental health is a big one.
So, yeah. So those are the ways we can get you a service connected for, any kind of conditions. Now, if somebody served, right, never.
Sorry, my throat is dry.
Coughing, about ready to die.
Making my eye water. He's like, "Why are you winking at me?"
we won't go there. So let's say somebody served, had nothing happen to them in service, right? They get out and Now they're, they're in their retirement age, or even before then, but yet they are not working, cannot work for any certain reason, and are not bringing in anything over what VA considers poverty line.
Right.
Right. What options are out there for that?
Healthcare, possibly. VA healthcare.
Okay, I mean that would help. Yeah.
If they're below that poverty level, I know they'll.
Come on, I know you both know this.
They could qualify.
Pension.
Non-service connection.
Non-service connection. Pension. Perfect.
Brain's finally firing.
Perfect. Now those are kind of weird ratings because you'll file for the claim, right? And by this, it's all means, right? So it goes off of assets and income.
Yep.
With a certain amount of period, and then they'll verify it with the IRS and do that 3-year look back too, right?
Yep.
So if you put in for disabilities under the non-service connected pension, just to help try to bring some funds in for this veteran, right? The VA, if granted, will rate it at a certain rate, just as if they were to be rated through direct service connected, right? The difference is they won't get paid the compensation per rating. Right. They'll go off of the means.
Yep.
And they'll supplement that income to bring them up to that poverty line at that point in time.
Yep.
So when you go to look at them in VBMS or anything like that, you see that they have a rating percentage of 60%.
Or the 30s. I've seen quite a few of those too.
Right.
Yep.
However, they're not actually service connected. They have that non-service connection through the pension program.
Yeah, it's a trip.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I'll tell you honestly, it takes a lot to get, the vet has to do some work
Big time.
in order to get qualified for these programs, just because the VA, they do that check. They want to see, what your income, what your assets are, why are you unable to work or make that, employment is a short-term, is a long-term kind of thing. So yeah, there's options out there. It's just trying to find the best one to fit the veteran scenario, and connect them. Our hands are tied in certain cases just because of having to follow through with the CFR. So trust me, we want to do everything we can to get you, and we try to be as creative as possible to make sure that you have the best case going forward in front of the VA and the ratings and stuff like that. And trust me, I can't tell you over the last 2 weeks how many times I've heard how redundant the system is.
Yeah.
And the paperwork too.
Trust me, we understand it and we know it, and with that being said, it's a system, it's a process, and there's times we get just as frustrated as anybody else with it,
Yeah.
You know what frustrates me that we were just talking about too is the direct deposit information to when we start filing the claim. If they haven't had a claim before with the VA, they need to know how they're going to pay you. So we got to put a direct deposit form in. What was the form you were going through yesterday?
1199.
No, the 1009.
Yeah, the 1009. The difference between the two, and it just it's to me it's honestly redundant. Back in the day, you just put the checking number and the routing number on there, what bank it is, and the veteran signs as 526, good to go, whatever. But now it's 1199A, and that they make it absolutely muddled and confusing because the information that you need to put up there, which is the just simple information, is up top, and then the routing number all the way to the bottom, or vice versa. I forgot what it is, but it's just why.
Or the fact that there's 6 different templates for that form.
Yeah. And you got to pick the right one. I found out that payee, you got to do the drop bar. You bring down, and it's just, if you don't pick that, I've sent off a claim, which it doesn't hurt the veteran. Just had to, add the form that they needed and explain myself, hey, this is what happened. The wrong form was sent, but it sent a blank form. I had to push down pay e-copy to send off.
Really?
So, it's just
Okay.
weird.
Yep.
Just another thing, you know?
And that 1009 form, that's for Veterans Healthcare Administration.
Yep.
Right.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's for like if you're signing somebody up for direct deposit for travel pay. Mm-hmm. Something to that
Oh, okay.
effect.
Yep.
I haven't had to do that yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, ironically, this guy did. And
Completely forgot about that one. I was like, oh my gosh.
it's crazy because I was like, hey, dude, I know you did it, 3 months ago or so.
And we
You
forget
remember this?
'cause,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes I'll look at emails that I've sent with like asking for certain things from veterans and for their claims, and I'm like, I don't even remember writing that. Did I? Like, because it's just you just do it and get it done with.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, what's happening to me?
I swear with
My brain.
any governmental stuff, there's always some kind of redundancy put in place. Whether we like it or not, just the way it happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully it gets better, though.
Yeah.
Kind of nice to just be able to throw a check and be like, just take it.
For sure.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, it's all good information. Hopefully it's getting out there and, we'll continue pushing the fight on our end, getting us
Yeah.
out on any kind of social media or even outdoor events and stuff, which spring's coming.
I'm
Slow
so
but
excited.
sure.
Yeah. Slow is definitely the word for it.
Yeah, that's
It's a long winter, it seems like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It'd be nice to get out in the woods or Petoskey Stone Fest, all kinds of different things. So
Yep.
we shall see,
For sure. Other than that, I think this is a good one. I hope everybody out there has a great weekend.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.